Hi again then guys, and so we've got another HSG movie review for you today. And so I went to see the new Pixar movie today, Inside Out, and I had pretty good expectations for the film. Nothing particularly high, because obviously it's geared more towards kids. That said, there was a fair amount of comedy that would go over the heads of kids, so that was good to see. There were a couple of gags that you could quite easily miss, which were pretty good. I would say they were probably 2 or 3 of the best gags in the film could quite easily be missed. And a couple of them were very good, especially towards the end. Now, it was more of a kid-inclined film than I was expecting. I was expecting quite a lot of comedy that was geared towards adults. And although, as I said, there was some, not as much as I was expecting. It was very much a kid's film. You know, it's not Winnie the Pooh or anything like that, but it was obviously geared towards kids. I would say it was definitely better than the movie Home, which came out not that long ago, less than a year ago. Definitely better than that film. Was it as good as Big Hero 6? No, definitely not. Was it funny? In parts. In parts it was. It wasn't really a laugh out loud kind of funny. It was kind of just a smile or a chuckle kind of funny. Nothing hysterical. Perhaps for the kids, but not for adults. As far as story, obviously I'm not going to give anything away story-wise, but it gets better as it goes along. At the start of the film, I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it because it moved kind of slow, and one of the characters in particular, Sadness, really annoyed me. They were a very, very annoying character through most of the film, I would say. Now, maybe that's just me, but I found that character very infuriating. Well, infuriating is a strong word. Very, very annoying at the very least throughout most of at least the first half of the film. Now, it doesn't wreck the film by any means, and as with most Pixar films, there are more emotional parts. There aren't really sad parts, but there are intense parts, at least 2 emotionally intense parts of the film. Not sad, though, particularly. But overall, yeah, it was pretty good. For kids, I think kids would love it. There were some kids there in the cinema, and they seemed to enjoy it. Not surprising, really. For adults, I wouldn't really recommend it for adults. Some adults might enjoy it, but in general, it was a bit slow. Was it a bad film? Certainly not. It just wasn't designed for the kind of audience that I was expecting it to be. I wasn't expecting it to be a completely adult film, obviously, but I was expecting a bit more than it was. Now, there are a couple of reasonably well-known people in the film. No massive star power, but Amy Poehler and Bill Hader play 2 of the main characters, so they're pretty well-known, pretty funny people. No massive star power, as there sometimes is in animated movies, but overall it was funny in parts, emotional in parts, and fun in parts. I'd say it was, of the 3, it was mostly fun. Of the amount of the film, most of it was fun rather than funny. But yeah, it was interesting. It was different, as you can kind of tell from the trailer. The trailer is not entirely the right picture of the film. You kind of mix and match as to whether trailers are accurate or not. Lately, they seem to be not very accurate for films. They kind of portray the wrong parts of films. That was the case for me anyway with this film, and Ant-Man as well, which I of course reviewed before. But the trailer kind of presents the film in a slightly different way than it actually is, where they're around the table and they're all reacting with the "put the foot down" and all that kind of thing. That is in the film, of course, but that is like a tiny part of the film, and that's very minor in terms of plot to the film. The plot, not to spoil anything, but the plot revolves around these emotions, fairly obviously, and basically each of them has the power to make choices in the girl who's called Riley's life. And based on whichever of them makes said choice, that produces a small sphere with a memory of that choice. And depending on which emotion made the choice, it's a different colour sphere. So if the sad one made the choice, then it's blue. The memory is blue, so it's a sad memory. But if, say, joy did it, or anger, then it would be their respective colour, which is interesting, and that plays a massive role. That is the main thing throughout the whole story about these spheres. And I won't go into it any more than that, but yeah, it's interesting. It's different. It's certainly not the best Pixar film. Don't think I was really expecting it to be, and certainly not the best animated film I've seen. But again, I wasn't expecting it to be. Is it worth a watch? I'd say, well, to be honest, I think any film is worth a watch at least once, just so you can know what it was like. So I'd automatically say yes. But just, if you're an older person, say a teen or an adult, don't expect Big Hero 6 from this film, or the Lego Movie, or anything like that, because it's just not that level. Is it fun? Yeah. Will you want to watch it twice? I don't. So, you know, obviously for different people, different things, but that's just it for me. So I guess that's it for the review, really. So if you stayed this far, well done. And I guess I'll see you for the next review, whatever that is. So as always, thanks for watching.
Shut up and sit down.